On the other side.
Morning, Mr. Mayor.
Good morning, man. How you doing?
How are you?
Good to see you. My pleasure. That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, will everyone please rise for the presentation of the colors by the FDNY Ceremonial Unit Color Guard.
Detail 10 Hood.
Please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem, sung by EMT Sarah McShane.
Detail, hand salute.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free
Thank you, Sarah. Please remain standing as FDNY Chaplain Rabbi Joseph Potasnik delivers the invocation.
Mr. Mayor, correct me if I'm wrong, but when it comes to prayers from the clergy, you want the redacted version? Yes. Okay. There is a famous quotation that says, never give up 5 minutes before the miracle happens. You never give up 5 seconds before the miracle happens. You didn't give up on 9/11. You didn't give up after 9/11. Religion teaches us that those who run after honor, honor runs away from them. But those who run away from honor, honor runs after them. So today we honor you, not because you asked for it, but because you earned it. We bless you for all that you do and all that you are in never giving up before the miracle happens. Amen.
Thank you, Rabbi. Retire the colors. Please be seated.
Detail, at ease.
Once again, good morning. I'm Battalion Chief Mark Guerra. I'm the Executive Officer to the Fire Commissioner, and it is an honor to serve as the Master of Ceremonies on such a proud day for the FDNY. On behalf of Mayor Bill DeBlasio, Fire Commissioner Dan Nigro, Chief of Department John Sudnick, our staff chiefs, union officials, executive staff, and elected officials, I would like to welcome you all to today's FDNY Medal Day ceremony. A special welcome to all of our medal winners. You make us proud. We are also honored to have our medal donors, as well as the families and companies of all of the medal recipients joining us here today. It now gives me great pleasure to introduce our first speaker, the Mayor of the City of New York, Bill DeBlasio.
Thank you, Chief Guerra. It is a real amazing thought to recognize that the FDNY gave its very first award, the James Gordon Bennett Medal, in 1869. In 1869, our fire trucks were pulled by horses. In 1869, the great hero of the Civil War, General Ulysses S. Grant, was President of the United States. That's how far back the extraordinary tradition of the FDNY goes. But you know, you could think that's a long time ago and things must have been very different, but you know what's exactly the same is the heroism, the bravery, the professionalism, the commitment that makes the members of the FDNY so great, so admired all over this country, all over this world. Today, we get to recognize some of the heroes who did some of the most amazing things, and we get to thank them, and we get to thank all of you, their family members. And I always like to recognize that everyone who serves our city, everyone who serves our nation is able to do it because of the love and support of their family. So would you do me a favor, everyone? Let's support and let's thank all the family members for all they do. I want to thank our Commissioner, Dan Nigro, our Chief of Department, John Sudnick, and First Deputy Commissioner, Laura Kavanaugh, for their leadership, all the leadership of the FDNY present for all you do. I want to thank the union leadership as well for all you do on behalf of the people who do such important work for all of us. So that phrase we use, New York's bravest, that title was earned It's not overstated. It's not made up. It was earned. It was earned in the searing heat of countless fires. And today, we honor 67 good New Yorkers, 67 members of FDNY who have earned that title and then some. I want to talk about the award recipients today, but first, we must remember two heroes who made the ultimate sacrifice this year. Firefighter Stephen Pollard of Ladder 170 was the 1,151st member of the FDNY to fall in the line of duty. He saw a man in a crumpled SUV along a highway. He rushed across 2 highways to save him, lost his life in that effort to be there for someone in need. We miss him and we remember him. And firefighter Christopher Slutman, Ladder 27, the 1,152nd member of the FDNY to fall in the line of duty. At this very ceremony in 2014, I had the great honor of awarding the Fire Chiefs Association Memorial Medal to firefighter Slutman. No idea at that moment what we would know 5 years later, that we would lose him in the service of his nation, because he wore 2 uniforms. He was not only a 15-year veteran of the FDNY, he was also a staff sergeant in the U.S. Marine Corps Reserve, and he fell protecting all of us in Afghanistan. And we miss him, and we will always be there for him, for his family. Their legacy of selfless courage is carried on by the members of the FDNY today, and these 67 recipients exemplify that same tradition, that same commitment. Each one of them honored today showed strength, showed courage, showed quick thinking, showed bravery in the face of extraordinary odds. Each one has an amazing story, but I only want to offer 2 examples. Lieutenant Patrick T. Matarazza, III, of Ladder 56, is being honored for his heroic actions in saving 3 lives. Faced with a room filled with deadly heat and smoke and people trapped behind a door, he took 3 attempts to try and get past the flames. He finally broke through and managed to save everyone. Today, Lieutenant Matarazza will receive FDNY's highest honor for firefighters, the James Gordon Bennett Medal. Let's congratulate him and his family. That same selflessness was displayed by paramedic Jacqueline Bennell of Station 14 while transporting a patient. She heard a cry of help, there's a fire. She didn't hesitate. She turned back into the danger. She banged on the door of every apartment in the building. She found an elderly man choking on the smoke, and she walked him down 6 flights of stairs to safety. Thanks to paramedic Bonor, no one was injured that day. Today, she receives EMS's highest honor, the Christopher J. Prescott Medal. Let's thank paramedic Bonor. And I'll conclude with this. Every one of the stories you're about to hear are amazing, are something we can admire, something we can look up to. I said it yesterday at the ceremony for the police department. I want to say it today at the ceremony for the fire department. In our nation, we look for heroes. We go to the movies looking for heroes. We turn on our favorite sporting event looking for heroes. But if you want to find some genuine heroes, look right here, ladies and gentlemen. They're right here in front of you. The last thing I want to say is borrowed from some of our great faith traditions all over the world. A simple, ancient idea that's just as powerful today, and it's this: whoever saves a life saves the world. Whoever steps forward to save one human being creates that moment on behalf of all of humanity. And I want to say this representing all 8.6 million New Yorkers. I want to thank all of these honorees from the bottom of my heart, because each day you have worked to save the world. You have shown us how it's done. You have given us hope. God bless you all, to the medal recipients, to the families, to the whole FDNY. God bless you, God bless New York City, and God bless America.
Thank you, Mayor. Next, we'll hear from our Fire Commissioner, Dan Nigro.
Good morning and congratulations to all the men and women whose bravery we celebrate today, and a very special welcome to the extended FDNY family here with us, to the parents, wives, husbands, children, and many more loved ones of our honorees. Your love and your support made their difficult work possible. We are thrilled to have you all with us here on this special day. And a big thank you and welcome to all of the firefighters, paramedics, EMTs, and fire marshals here today showing their support. You've been right here with our medal recipients every day of their careers, including the many difficult incidents we honor them for today. Our honorees traveled a long road to reach this moment. The journey began when they made the choice to dedicate their lives to saving others. That's not an easy decision. It requires courage and true dedication to earn the right to wear the uniform of the FDNY. From there, they completed rigorous training, the best in the world. They learned to fight fires, save people, and provide expert medical care. That training continued well beyond the academy with veteran mentors and officers in firehouses and EMS stations who taught them on every tour. Our job demands that every day in the FDNY, you work hard to be better than you were the day before. All of this training, this unwavering commitment, it culminated in the moments we celebrate today. Times when the lives of their fellow New Yorkers hung in the balance, and they rose to the occasion. Look no further than Gordon Bennett Medal recipient, Lieutenant Patrick Matarazza of Ladder 56. His incredible efforts to repeatedly enter a raging fire in the Bronx saved 3 lives, including the life of a young child. Or the dedication demonstrated by paramedic Jacqueline Bonnell of Station 14, recipient of the Christopher J. Prescott Medal, who was already treating one patient on a medical call and then entered a smoke-filled top floor of an apartment building to rescue another person from a growing fire. The many stories of bravery we'll hear very shortly prove something I've known for my entire career. The commitment of FDNY members is nothing short of extraordinary. In fact, one of our recipients, paramedic Jonathan Rivera of Station 20, is honored twice today. Once for his expert medical care of a patient struck and pinned under a cargo train, and another time for locating, treating, and helping extricate a fellow first responder trapped up to his chest in mud. That is an incredible commitment to saving lives. And when it comes to saving lives among our honorees this year, no one was more prolific than the members of Ladder 161 in Coney Island. They rescued 7 people from a fire, including 2 children and 3 adults confined to wheelchairs. Their outstanding teamwork and acts of valor are why they are receiving our World Trade Center Memorial Medal. All of our honorees displayed true bravery when they were called to act. They represented the greatest traditions of our beloved department. To all of our members here today, know how much you mean to this great city. Know that your bravery is inspiring and that millions of New Yorkers are relying on you to keep them safe. And to our medal recipients, know that we are immensely proud of you for your accomplishments and for your steadfast commitment to our life-saving mission. Thank you for ensuring that the FDNY continues to be the best it can be, the greatest fire department in the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. We will now commence with the presentation of the medals. I will ask the ceremonial officer to escort the mayor, the fire commissioner, and the chief of department to the area in the front of the stage. Our first medals, the James Gordon Bennett Medal and the New York State Honorary Fire Chiefs Association medals, are presented to Lieutenant Patrick Matarazza, Ladder 56. In March of 2018, Lieutenant Matarazza led the members of Ladder 56 to a report of a fire in a multiple dwelling in the Bronx, where panicked occupants were descending a fire escape. Lieutenant Matarazza and his team needed to reach the floor above the fire to search for those trapped. The fire forced them to use that same fire escape and work their way past those frantically trying to escape. He climbed to the second floor and found his way to the hallway where the fire was growing rapidly. Time was running out for the trapped occupants. He made 2 attempts to get past the roaring flames and intense heat. On the third try, he broke through to search the smoke-filled apartment. He quickly found an unconscious adult and child on the floor and began to drag both victims from the apartment. Blocked by furniture, he scooped up the child to safety and then returned with his fellow firefighters to rescue the adult. Lieutenant Matarazza re-entered the apartment for a third time, which was now consumed by fire, and he located a third occupant who was removed with assistance from a fellow firefighter. Lieutenant Matarazza's act of valor rescued not 1, not 2, but 3 people from a raging fire. Today, we award the James Gordon Bennett Medal and the New York State Honorary Fire Chiefs Association Medal to Lieutenant Patrick Matarazza, Ladder Company 56, Rapid Axes. Our next awards are the Brooklyn Citizens Medal, Firefighter Louis Valentino Award to Lieutenant Michael Duran of Engine 254. In January of 2018, Lieutenant Duran and the members of Engine 254 responded to a fire in a basement of a 2-story home in Brooklyn. Neighbors screamed to the firefighters that an elderly woman was trapped. Lieutenant Duran ordered his firefighters to stretch a hose line as he entered the basement, where he found thick, black smoke, which forced him to crawl down a narrow, cluttered hallway. As the heat intensified and flames grew over his head, he crawled forward, finding the woman face down on the floor. With the assistance of firefighters from Ladder 153, Lieutenant Duran orchestrated a careful removal of the occupant to safety. For his extraordinary bravery and endurance without the protection of a hose line, the Brooklyn Citizens Medal, Firefighter Louis Valentino Award, is awarded to Lieutenant Michael Duran, Engine Company 254, the Watchdogs of Avenue U. The next medal, the Christopher J. Prescott Medal, is awarded to paramedic Jacqueline Bunnell of Station 14. Paramedic Bunnell normally saves lives with her expert medical care, but in March of 2018, she rescued an occupant from a fire in the South Bronx. As she began to transport a patient for a medical emergency on the 4th floor, her CO meter went off and she heard someone scream, "Help, there's a fire." She notified dispatchers and a fellow EMT removed the patient to safety. Paramedic Bunnell then began banging on doors to alert residents and started searching additional upper floors for trapped occupants. Finding an elderly man trapped by smoke and unable to evacuate himself on the 6th floor, quickly and carefully, she guided him to safety, ensuring that he would not be injured or lost in the growing fire around him. Because of her bravery, there were no injured occupants at this fire. Because of her selfless and heroic actions, the Christopher J. Prescott Medal is awarded to paramedic Jacqueline Bunnell of Station 14, the Angels of the Bronx. The next award is the U. Bonor Medal, Honor Legion Medal, awarded to firefighter Robert Perrone of Ladder 43. Just before 1 a.m. in March of 2018, firefighters from Engine 53 and Ladder 43 responded to a heavy fire in a grocery store on the 1st floor of a 4-story apartment building. As occupants fled the building by the front fire escape, firefighter Perrone moved to the rear yard to search for anyone trapped and discovered a woman hanging from a top floor window. He quickly ascended the fire escape, reaching her just as she let go of the window. Grabbing her arm as she fell and using all of his strength, he pulled her over the railing and onto the fire escape. Before he could remove her down the fire escape to safety, a second woman appeared in a window. He entered the smoke-filled apartment and guided her to the fire escape as well. Together, he safely brought both occupants to the ground, rescuing them from the fire. For his tremendous display of strength and bravery, the U. Bonor Medal, Honor Legion Medal, is awarded to firefighter Robert Perrone, Ladder Company 43, El Barrio's bravest. The next medal is the Emily Trevor Mary B. Warren Medal, awarded to firefighter Timothy O'Neill, Rescue Company 1. In March of 2018, a helicopter crashed into the East River and began to sink with several people trapped on board. This is the first of 4 medals awarded for the heroic actions at this tragic event. Firefighter O'Neill donned his dry suit on board Rescue 1 as it raced across Manhattan to the scene. Upon arrival, the members of Rescue 1 boarded an FDNY Marine boat, then a tugboat, and with confirmation from the pilot that people were trapped, Firefighter O'Neill entered the 40-degree water to search the submerged helicopter. In total darkness, as the helicopter moved downriver underwater at a speed of 5 knots, he used his extensive training to locate the harness, free the first trapped passenger he found, and bring that person to the surface. He would repeat this extremely difficult and dangerous operation 3 additional times as the helicopter moved more than 70 city blocks downriver in the fast-moving tide. For his incredible efforts at great personal risk, the recipient of this year's Emily Trevor Mary B. Warren Medal is firefighter Timothy O'Neill, Rescue Company 1. Outstanding! The next medal is the Thomas E. Crimmins Medal, awarded to firefighter Gilberto Martinez of Ladder Company 162. This is the first of 2 medals awarded for the heroic actions at this fire. In April of 2018, firefighter Gilberto Martinez and the members of Ladder 162 were dispatched to a first-floor fire in Queens Village. He used the portable ladder to access the second floor to search for anyone trapped and navigated an overhang that was buckling under his weight to enter a second-floor bathroom. Searching the home in zero visibility and intense heat, he found an unconscious occupant and removed her through the window he had entered. He and another member of Ladder Company 162, firefighter John Vasquez, then removed the second unconscious occupant from the fire, rendering critical medical treatment in the process. For outstanding search and rescue efforts that removed 2 trapped occupants from a growing fire, the Thomas E. Crimmins Medal is awarded to firefighter Gilberto Martinez, Ladder Company 162, the Border Patrol. Our next medal, the Thomas A. Kenny Memorial Medal, is awarded to Captain Kenneth Freeman, Ladder Company 161. This is the first of 3 medals awarded for bravery at this fire. In December of 2017, Captain Freeman led the members of Ladder 161 to the report of a fire with children trapped. Upon arrival, the firefighters found soot-covered parents who told them their kids were still trapped inside. Captain Freeman led an aggressive search past the raging fire and through a heavy clutter of toys and clothing, all of which made locating the children extremely difficult. Undeterred, he fought forward and found an unconscious child. He protected him from the fire with his own body and removed him from the apartment to safety. For rescuing a child from certain death without the protection of a hose line, in severe heat, and with no means of egress, the Thomas A. Kenny Memorial Medal is awarded to Captain Kenneth Freeman, Ladder Company 161, the best ride on Coney Island. Up next is the Walter Scott Medal, presented to Lieutenant Darrell Williams of Battalion 12. This is the first of 2 medals awarded for rescues at this fire. In April of 2018, Lieutenant Williams was commanding Ladder 26 when they arrived first due to a fire in an apartment on the 29th floor of a 35-story building in Manhattan. He entered the apartment and moved toward the fire with firefighter Brian Foley, who located and removed 1 trapped occupant. Lieutenant Williams continued forward to search bedrooms for any others who were trapped. Searching multiple rooms, he found a pregnant woman and 2 young children desperately gasping for air. Working once again with firefighter Foley, he shielded them from the high heat and removed them to safety. For his leadership and persistent, extensive search of an apartment heavily involved in fire that saved multiple lives, the Walter Scott Medal is presented to Lieutenant Darrell Williams of Battalion 12. Our next medal is the John H. Prentice Medal, awarded to Lieutenant Glenn Harris, Ladder Company 142. This is the first of 2 medals awarded for bravery at this fire. In an early morning fire in April 2018, Lieutenant Harris led the members of Ladder 142 to a heavy fire in a home in Queens. As they arrived, occupants were screaming that at least 3 people were trapped inside on the 3rd floor. Lieutenant Harris rushed up the stairs past the fire into the attic apartment and secured the door to protect those who were trapped. The fire then auto-exposed into a window on the 3rd floor, further endangering the lives of those trapped. As he searched the apartment, he found 2 people in different areas of the apartment and worked with firefighter Andrew Musler to remove them to safety. Lieutenant Harris then located 2 additional occupants and worked with firefighters from Ladder 142 to remove them by a 35-foot portable ladder. For bravely executing a careful and coordinated rescue of multiple trapped people in a heavy fire, the John H. Prentice Medal is awarded to Lieutenant Glenn Harris of Ladder Company 142, Blazing Saddles. I got plenty. The next award is the Henry D. Brookman Medal, presented to Lieutenant Jose Grillon, Battalion 27. In June of 2018, Lieutenant Grillon led the members of Ladder 38 to a report of a fire on 2 floors of a 5-story building in the Bronx. The firefighters forced the apartment door on the 2nd floor, and Lieutenant Grillon began his search, finding an unconscious burned occupant who he quickly removed from the apartment to receive medical care from his fellow members. The lieutenant later re-entered the apartment on 2 separate occasions, locating a second unconscious occupant and removing that person with the aid of his fellow firefighters. Lieutenant Grillon's bunker coat was so badly burned by the brutal conditions at this fire that it was condemned. For his brave actions, the Henry D. Brookman Medal is presented to Lieutenant Jose Grillon of Battalion 27. The next medal, the Chief Ulysses Grant Leadership Medal, is presented to then Lieutenant, now Captain Sean McGrath of the Hashtag Battalion. In January of 2018, Lieutenant McGrath brought every bit of his training with him as he responded to Penn Station for a work badly burned and injured on top of an Amtrak train when he came in contact with overhead power lines. Working closely with firefighters from Rescue 1, Lieutenant McGrath helped treat and develop a plan for removing his patient from the train to the platform for continued care. Lieutenant McGrath used not only his leadership skills, but his extensive paramedic training as well to both supervise the medical care and provide extensive medical care to critically injured patients. For his quick actions, strong leadership, and bravery, the Chief Ulysses Grant Leadership Medal is awarded to Captain Sean McGrath of Station 40, then as a member of the Hashtag Battalion. Be elite because you are. Our next medal is the Hispanic Society 23rd Street Fire Memorial Medal of Valor, presented to Lieutenant U. Barr of Ladder 59. On a hot July night in the Bronx in 2018, Lieutenant Barr led the members of Ladder Company 59 to a basement fire with the trapped occupant. The low ceilings, heavy smoke condition, and high heat created a dangerous environment for both firefighters and anyone trapped. After searching multiple rooms, Lieutenant Barr saw another doorway past the fire room and crawled under the flames to reach it, where he found an unconscious occupant. Assisted by his fellow firefighters, Lieutenant Barr pulled the occupant from the fire. for his great courage and tenacity at this difficult fire, the Hispanic Society 23rd Street Memorial Medal of Valor is presented to Lieutenant U. Barr of Ladder 59, the Blue Devils. Our next medal, the M.J. Delany Medal, is presented to firefighter Brian Foley of Ladder Company 26. This is the second medal awarded for rescues at this fire. In April of 2018, firefighter Foley and Lieutenant Williams of Ladder 26 responded to a fire in an apartment on the 29th floor of the 35-story building in Manhattan. Firefighter Foley forced the door open and crawled past the fire, locating and removing a trapped occupant. He re-entered the apartment, the fire now growing in intensity, and located a second person. He carried the child down to the 28th floor to safety, where his fellow firefighters began medical care, and then went back up to the fire apartment for a third time to assist his officer, Lieutenant Williams, in removing another child from the fire. For his courage and determination to save others, the M.J. Delany Medal is awarded to firefighter Brian Foley of Ladder Company 26, the Fire Factory. Up next is the Mayor Fiorello H. LaGuardia Medal, presented to Lieutenant Ryan McNamara of Ladder 20. In December of 2018, Lieutenant McNamara led the members of Ladder 20 to a fire in a 4-story, non-fireproof multiple dwelling with heavy clutter conditions, no rear fire escape, and a small, narrow public hallway. His team went to the floor above the roaring fire to search the apartment for those who may have been trapped. They found rooms fully engulfed in flames. He found an unconscious occupant in a bathroom and pulled her to safety. Retracing his route, the lieutenant found a second unconscious woman in the bathroom and pulled her to safety as well. Working closely with the members of Ladder 20 and Engine 33, both occupants were removed to the street for emergency medical care. For his decisive actions, deliberate search, and leadership, the Mayor Fiorello H. LaGuardia Medal is presented to Lieutenant Ryan McNamara of Ladder Company 20, Soho Trucking Company. Our next medal is the William F. Conrad Medal. Is presented to firefighter Joseph Forrest of Ladder Company 38. This is the first of 2 medals for bravery at this fire. In March of 2018, Ladder 38 responded to a fire on the top floor of a 4-story building, just blocks from their firehouse in the Bronx. There were reports of an occupant trapped on that floor. Firefighter Forrest climbed the aerial ladder, ventilated the window, and entered the top floor apartment, finding fire in the living room and hallway toward the bedroom. He quickly conducted a search, finding the unconscious man in the center of the room, trapped under a piece of furniture. Conditions were deteriorating rapidly. The fire and smoke were growing overhead, and another piece of furniture fell onto firefighter Forrest. Undeterred, he removed the occupant to the window and worked with firefighter Thomas McMahon to bring him down the aerial to safety. For his brave actions in rescuing a man from a rapidly extending fire, the William F. Conrad Medal is presented to firefighter Joseph Forrest of Ladder Company 38, the All-Stars. Our next awards, the Chief John J. McGilligot Medal, Firefighters Fitzpatrick and Frisbee Award goes to Firefighter David Burkhart of Ladder Company 2. This is the first of 2 awards for bravery at this fire. In April of 2018, Firefighter Burkhart and the members of Engine 8 and Ladder 2 responded to a confirmed explosion with the fire in the basement of a parking garage in Midtown Manhattan. Primary searches were hampered by excessive clutter and extreme heat, which created very difficult conditions for the members operating. Firefighter Burkhart and Firefighter Scott Hickey of Ladder 4 forced open a heavily fortified door and advanced without the protection of a hose line into a blacked-out basement filled with pedicabs, clutter, and storage. Among the tangled maze, they searched in darkness and located an unconscious person. They retraced their steps and removed the injured person under difficult conditions to the street for immediate medical care. For true bravery to save a life, the Chief John J. McElligott Medal, Firefighters Fitzpatrick and Frisbee Award is awarded to Firefighter David Burkhart of Ladder Company 2, Midtown High Rise. Up next, the Thomas F. Dar Medal, presented to Lieutenant Joseph Cavaretta, Engine Company 236. In September of 2018, Lieutenant Cavaretta led the members of Engine 236 to the report of smoke. As they entered the block, numerous residents were waving them into a confirmed fire on the top floor of a 2-story building in Brooklyn. A hydrant blocked by cars created a dangerous delay in securing water, and believing people were trapped by fire, Lieutenant Cavaretta pushed forward into the building, encountering heavy fire, and found an unconscious occupant in the fire apartment. He removed the person with the assistance of his fellow firefighters, then returned to conduct an additional search, this time finding a second unconscious occupant, once again removing the injured person to safety. For leading a tremendous rescue operation that saved 2 lives, the Thomas Dar Medal is presented to Lieutenant Joseph Cavaretta of Engine Company 236, the pride of East New York. Our next medal is the Albert S. Johnston Medal, presented to Firefighter Bernd Woby of Ladder Company 134. In April of 2018, the Big House, Engine 264, Engine 328, and Ladder 134 responded to a heavily advanced fire in a private dwelling in Queens. As a resident told firefighters that an elderly woman was trapped on the 2nd floor, and Firefighter Woby used the 24-foot extension ladder to enter a 2nd-floor window to search for her just as heavy rain and high winds began to batter the members operating. Surrounded by intense heat, he located the unconscious woman face down on the floor and began to remove her through the window he had entered. Firefighter Carl Kratowski of Ladder 134 worked closely with Firefighter Woby and carried the woman down the ladder just as the room ignited in flames. For his remarkable actions in rapidly deteriorating conditions, both inside and outside the fire building, the Albert S. Johnston Medal is awarded to Firefighter Bernd Woby of Ladder Company 134, the Big House. Our next award is the Bella Stifle Medal, presented to Firefighter Edward Daly of Rescue Company 2. This is the first of 2 medals awarded to members of Rescue Company 2 at this fire. In August of 2018, Rescue 2 responded to a supermarket fire in Brooklyn. Heavy fire engulfed the 1st floor, smoke billowing from 3 floors of the apartments above. And the lobby was filled with screaming, self-evacuating residents. Firefighter Daly searched the second-floor apartment filled with fire and found 2 unconscious occupants. As Engine 231 directed water into the second-floor window from the street below, Firefighter Daly shielded the injured people and then worked with ladder 111 to remove 1 person by the tower ladder bucket. He removed the second victim from the apartment to the public hallway and then returned to assist in removing a 3rd occupant who had been found. Firefighter Daly's training, dedication, and bravery led to the removal of 3 people from a difficult growing fire. For his actions, the Bella Stifle Medal is presented to Firefighter Edward Daly of Rescue Company 2, The Rescue. The next medal is the Tracy Allen Lee Medal and is presented to Lieutenant Paul Artizone of the Hashtag Battalion and paramedics Juan Henriquez and Huang Jung Yoon of Station 8. In September of 2018, Lieutenant Artizone and paramedics Henriquez and Yoon were aboard FDNY boat Marine One Bravo as part of a cruise ship escort when they received word of a cardiac arrest patient aboard the cruise ship. Working closely with dispatch to secure land-based units for transport and NYPD Harbor to board the ship, the 3 highly trained EMS members responded to the cruise ship medical bay and found an unstable patient with cardiac symptoms. They began immediate medical intervention to stabilize their patient and worked with NYPD to secure transport of the patient to land and a waiting ambulance. For bringing the tremendous training and medical care of FDNY EMS from the streets of New York City to a ship miles offshore, and for their outstanding coordinated medical treatment of a critical patient. The Tracy Allen Lee Medal is presented to Lieutenant Paul Artizone of the Hashtag Battalion. Be elite because you are, and paramedics Juan Enriquez and Huang Jung Soon of Station 8, the first and still the best. The next medal, the Vincent J. Cain Medal, is presented to firefighter Scott Hickey of Ladder Company 4. This is the second of 2 medals awarded for bravery at this fire. In April of 2018, firefighter Hickey and the members of Ladder 4 responded to a confirmed explosion with a fire in the basement of a parking garage in Midtown Manhattan. The location of the fire, the excessive clutter, and the extreme heat created very difficult conditions for the firefighters operating. Firefighter Hickey and firefighter David Burkhardt of Ladder 2 forced open a heavily fortified door and advanced without the protection of a hose line into a blacked-out basement filled with pedicabs, clutter, and storage. They searched in total darkness through a web of bike tires, storage, clutter, and other items that created dangerous hazards. Together, they located an unconscious person, then retraced their steps through the maze, removing the injured person under difficult conditions to the street for immediate medical care. Thanks to his bravery at great personal risk, a life was saved. For this act, the Vincent J. Cain Medal is awarded to firefighter Scott Hickey of Ladder Company 4, the pride of Midtown. The next award is the Palaski Association Medal, presented to firefighter Jeffrey Sacamano of Marine Company 6. This is the second of 4 medals awarded for heroic actions at this tragic incident. In March of 2018, a helicopter crashed into the East River and began to sink with several people trapped on board. Marine 6 responded to this incident, and en route, firefighter Sacamano donned his cold water rescue suit and prepared for water entry. Upon arrival, Marine 6 worked with the tugboat that had secured the sunken helicopter, and firefighter Sacamano entered the water. He first assisted 2 NYPD divers who were struggling with strong currents. He then worked with firefighter Timothy O'Neill of Rescue Company 1, located a point of entry to the aircraft, and as firefighter O'Neill brought passengers to the surface, firefighter Sacamano swam them to the boat for the removal from the water. For placing himself at great personal risk, coordinating an extensive rescue operation while in the water, and securing the safety of his fellow first responders. The Palaski Association Medal is presented to firefighter Jeffrey Sacamano of Marine Company 6, first to everywhere. Our next medal, the Commissioner Edward Thompson Medal, is awarded to firefighter Colin Ryan of Ladder Company 4. In June of 2018, as the members of Ladder 4 were finishing a drill inside Penn Station, they received word of a person in the Hudson River. They immediately responded. Radio transmissions confirmed the person was floating quickly south. Ladder 4 pulled over, and firefighter Ryan sprinted 500 yards along the shoreline, jumping into the water untethered, and swam 100 yards out to the victim. Exhausted but undeterred, he used his last bit of energy to keep the person afloat as an FDNY fireboat arrived to pull both victim and rescuer from the water. For his incredible athleticism, bravery, and dedication, the Commissioner Edward Thompson Medal is presented to firefighter Colin Ryan of Ladder Company 4, the pride of Midtown. The next medal is the Columbia Association Medal, awarded to firefighter John Vasquez of Ladder Company 162. This is the second of 2 medals awarded for heroic actions at this fire. In April of 2018, firefighter John Vasquez and the members of Ladder 162 were dispatched to a first-floor fire in Queens Village, along with firefighter Gilberto Martinez, who used a portable ladder to access the second floor to search for anyone trapped, and navigated an awning that was buckling under their weight to enter the building. Together, searching the home in zero visibility and intense growing heat, they found 2 unconscious occupants and removed them to safety. Firefighter Vasquez operated for an extended period on the floor above the fire without the aid of a charged hose line and removed 2 people from a raging fire. For his bravery, the Columbia Association Medal is presented to firefighter John Vasquez of Ladder Company 162, the Border Patrol. Up next is the Susan Wagner Medal, awarded to firefighter James Cahill of Rescue Company 1. This is the third of 4 medals awarded for heroic actions at this tragic incident that claimed 4 lives. The helicopter crash in the East River in March 2018 tested every FDNY member who responded and forced firefighters to execute extensive rescue operation in a river with strong current, frigid temperatures, and very dangerous conditions. Firefighter Cahill donned his dry suit and entered the water to search for passengers in a submerged helicopter. He searched the cockpit, finding it empty, and was forced to return to the surface as firefighter Timothy O'Neill of Rescue 1 took over search duties. When all passengers were brought to the boat, firefighter Cahill and his fellow members performed rescue breathing in an attempt to save their lives. For his brave efforts, at great personal risk, the recipient of this year's Susan Wagner Medal is firefighter James Cahill of Rescue Company 1. Outstanding! In November of 2018, Ladder 155 responded to a fire in a two-story private dwelling 2 blocks from quarters. Heavy fire was visible for an act of valor. Excuse me. I'm good. The next medal is the Student Association Medal, awarded to firefighter Mark Ackerman of Ladder Company 155. In November of 2018, Ladder 155 responded to a fire in a two-story private dwelling 2 blocks from quarters. Heavy fire was visible on the first floor, and a trapped occupant was seen on the second floor. Firefighter Ackerman went to the rear of the building, forced through a door, and found the interior stairs to reach the floor above the fire. He located the semi-conscious occupant, but found the staircase was now consumed by fire, which forced him to remove the injured person through a window and down a portable ladder set up by his fellow firefighters. Seconds after their escape, the roof was fully engulfed in flames. For his act of valor that rescued a man whose life was in grave danger, the Student Association Medal is awarded to firefighter Mark Ackerman of Ladder Company 155, the Viper's Nest. Our next medal is the James Scullion Medal, presented to paramedics Christopher Chaplin and Jonathan Rivera of Station 20. In August of 2018, they responded to Rodman's Neck in the Bronx for the report of a police officer stuck in the mud and unable to free himself. There was no confirmed location, so an exhaustive search began. They located the patient in dangerous terrain, stuck in the mud up to his chest, a life-threatening situation. They began to treat their patient, and working with firefighters and police, they were able to safely remove the trapped officer and provide medical care as he was transported to a local hospital. For their perseverance and unwavering commitment to finding and treating their patient, this James Scullion Medal is presented to paramedics Christopher Chaplin and Jonathan Rivera of Station 20. Pride. Our next award is the Dr. J.W. Goldenkrantz Medal, presented to firefighter Matthew Madison of Ladder Company 127. In August of 2018, Ladder 127 responded to a fire in a 2.5-story private dwelling in Queens. As they arrived, other fire companies were removing people from the first and second floors. Ladder 127 went to the basement from the rear of the building and found heavy fire was burning through the stairs. Firefighter Madison conducted a search and found an unconscious occupant wedged between a bed and a couch. Working with firefighter William Van Leer from Ladder 127, they were able to free the occupant and remove him from the basement, where he received immediate urgent medical care. For his bravery in rescuing an occupant trapped by fire, the Dr. J.W. Goldenkrantz Medal is awarded to firefighter Matthew Madison of Ladder Company 127, the Hillside Hurricanes. The next medal is the Uniform Fire Officers Association Medal, presented to Captain Brian Gill of Division 6. In September of 2018, Captain Gill led the members of Ladder 47 to a fire in a 12th-floor apartment of their 13-story building. He alerted his members that high winds outside would severely impact their life-saving operation. Upon entering the apartment, smoke pushed into the hallway, and an unconscious occupant was immediately found and removed. Captain Gill crawled past the fire and located and removed a second occupant, who informed him others were still trapped inside. Returning to the fire, he encountered Captain Harry Poole of Engine Company 64, who had located the third trapped occupant. For exemplary leadership and brave acts that saved multiple lives, the Uniformed Fire Officers Association Medal is presented to Captain Brian Gill of Division 6. The next award is the Edith Goldman Medal, presented to firefighter Robert McGuire of Ladder Company 142. This is the first of 2 medals awarded for acts of bravery at this tragic incident. In February of 2018, Ladder 142 responded to the report of a child who fell through the ice into Strack Pond in Forest Park in Queens. Wearing only a tethered life vest over a shirt and shorts, firefighter McGuire and firefighter Curtis Nimchek, also of Ladder 142, dove into the icy water, searching for the missing child. For several minutes, they submerged themselves in the frigid water and broke through the ice in an attempt to rescue the child. Locating the young child, they worked with firefighters on shore to remove him for immediate medical care. Sadly, the child who had entered this ice to save his friend did not survive his injuries. For his brave actions, putting him in harm's way to attempt to rescue the life of a child, the Edith Goldman Medal is presented to firefighter Robert McGuire of Ladder Company 142, Blazing Saddles. Up next, the American Legion Fire Department Post 930 Mark M. Woolfield Memorial Medal is presented to firefighter Andrew Musler of Ladder Company 142. This is the second of 2 medals awarded for bravery at this fire. On an early morning in April of 2018, the members of Ladder 142 responded to a heavy fire in a home in Queens. Upon arrival, they learned that at least 3 people were trapped inside on the 3rd floor. As the fire grew and conditions deteriorated rapidly, firefighter Musler secured a door to the fire area, buying more time for firefighters and those trapped. He then went to the 3rd floor and assisted Lieutenant Glenn Harris in removing 2 trapped occupants for acts of bravery that rescued multiple people trapped by a growing fire. The American Legion Fire Department Post 930 Mark M. Woolfield Memorial Medal is awarded to firefighter Andrew Musler of Ladder Company 142 Blazing Saddles. The next medal to be awarded is the Arthur J. Laufer Medal, presented to firefighter Thomas McMahon of Ladder 38. This is the 2nd medal for bravery at this fire. In March of 2018, Ladder 38 responded to a fire on the top floor of a 4-story building just blocks from the firehouse in the Bronx. Firefighters saw an occupant at the top floor window disappear into a smoke-filled room. Firefighter McMahon expertly positioned the aerial ladder, and he and firefighter Joseph Forrest ascended it to rescue the man. Firefighter McMahon straddled the windowsill as firefighter Forrest located the unconscious man in the apartment who was trapped by furniture. Together, they removed the occupant to the window and down the aerial to safety. For his outstanding actions, which led to a life saved from the fire, the Arthur J. Laufer Memorial Medal is awarded to firefighter Thomas McMahon of Ladder Company 38, the All-Stars. Our next award is the Emerald Society Pipes and Drums Medal, presented to firefighter Akira Rodriguez of Ladder Company 154. In May of 2018, Ladder 154 responded first to a fire in a private dwelling in Queens with several reports of people trapped. Firefighter Rodriguez took his tools and went to work, heading to the 2nd floor where he located a trapped male who stated his daughter was missing in the fire. Firefighter Rodriguez removed the man and began a search for the child, finding her unconscious in a rear bedroom. He passed her to his fellow firefighters, and she was removed to safety. A young child is alive today, thanks to the brave efforts of that day. For that, the Emerald Society Pipes and Drums Medal is awarded to firefighter Akira Rodriguez of Ladder Company 154, the Jackson Heights Knights. Next, the Company Officers Association Medal, presented to firefighter Daniel Gordon of Squad 61 while working in Ladder 47. In January of 2018, firefighter Gordon was working in Ladder 47 in the Bronx when the company responded to a heavy fire in the 1st floor furniture store that was endangering the floors of the apartments above. He went to the top floor and began to search the fire apartment, locating an unconscious occupant 20 feet past the door. Moving the person to safety, he found 4 children and another adult, trapped but alert. Knowing the path behind him was not safe, and with conditions growing worse by the second, he removed the group to the rear apartment and requested a towel ladder bucket be positioned to evacuate all 6 occupants. His quick thinking and brave act saved 6 lives that night. The Company Officers Association Medal is awarded to firefighter Daniel Gordon of Squad 61, taking in a job near you. Our next medal is the Lieutenant Kirby McLaren Medal, presented to EMT Ariana Barrero of Station 55 and EMT Felix Omar Saavedra of Station 26. In May of 2018, they responded to a Bronx rooftop where a person was standing at the roof's edge. As they began to talk to the person in hopes of talking her down, she leaned forward, threatening to jump. EMT Saavedra grabbed her legs, and with EMT Barrero's assistance, they pulled her to safety. It was EMT Barrero's first week out of the academy. They treated and secured their patient until more help arrived. EMTs are highly trained medical providers, but it was their compassion and concern for their patient who was in great distress that saved the life that day. For their heroic actions, the Lieutenant Kirby McLaren Medal is presented to EMT Ariana Barrero of Station 55, Double Nickels, and EMT Felix Omar Saavedra of Station 26, the Tin House EMS. Up next is the Chief Joseph B. Martin Medal, presented to Firefighter Anthony Maneri of Ladder Company 107. In July of 2018, Ladder 107 responded first due to a fire in a Brookman basement with reports of a person trapped. Firefighter Maneri forced the basement door, descended the stairs, forced the second door, and was blasted by extreme heat and smoke. He slipped past the fire and conducted a difficult search under very dangerous conditions, locating the unconscious occupant in a rear bedroom. With chances of survival dwindling for the occupant and knowing the way he came would be perilous, he moved to a rear door which was forced open by firefighter Michael Alvarez of Ladder 107, allowing the occupant to be safely removed. Firefighter Maneri's brave acts rescued a man from incredibly dangerous conditions, and for that, the Chief Joseph B. Martin Medal is presented to Firefighter Anthony Maneri of Ladder Company 107, faithful and fearless. The next award is the Police Honor Legion Medal, presented to Funcheck, Ladder Company 142. This is the second medal awarded for an act of bravery at this tragic incident. In February of 2018, Ladder 142 responded to the report of a child who fell through the ice into a pond in Queens. Wearing only a tethered life vest over his shirt and shorts, firefighter Nimechek and firefighter Robert McGuire, also of Ladder 142, dove into the icy water searching for the missing child. They searched the frigid water and broke through the ice for several minutes in an attempt to rescue the child. Locating the young child, they worked with firefighters on the shore to remove him for immediate medical care. For his brave actions, putting himself in harm's way to attempt to rescue the life of a child. The Police Honor Legion Medal is presented to firefighter Curtis Nimechek of Ladder Company 142, Blazing Saddles. The next medal, the firefighter David J. DeFranco Medal, is presented to firefighter Thomas Coletti of Engine Company 311. In June of 2018, firefighter Coletti was detailed to Marine Company 3 and responded to a report of a person drowning near the Staplechase Pier off of Coney Island. Navigating the boat and conducting a parallel shoreline search pattern, firefighter Coletti stood at the bow using his handheld searchlight and observed the victim floating 100 yards from the pier. They moved towards the victim. Firefighter Coletti entered the water and, despite the combative nature of the victim, was able to effect a rescue and save his life. For performing a water rescue of a person while untethered in choppy seas and in proximity to a moving vessel and pier pilings, the firefighter David J. DeFranco Medal is presented to firefighter Thomas Coletti of Engine Company 311, the Swamp Dogs. Our next award is the Lieutenant James E. Zahn, Lieutenant Peter L. Triano Memorial Medal, presented to firefighter Eric Leon of Ladder Company 9. In December of 2017, Ladder 9 received the first new assignment for a fire in a multiple dwelling. Frantic civilians told firefighters there was a fire on the third floor. Firefighter Leon forced the door, controlled it, and then found an unconscious occupant behind it. Working with his fellow firefighters, he removed the person from danger before returning to the fire apartment to continue additional searches. Because of his bravery and life-saving dedication to duty displayed at that fire, the Lieutenant James E. Zahn, Lieutenant Peter L. Triano Memorial Medal is presented to firefighter Eric J. Leon of Ladder Company 9, Bowery U. Our next medal is the Deputy Commissioner Christine R. Godek Medal, presented to Fire Marshal Mark Colici of the Special Investigations Unit and Fire Marshal Richard Faraci of the Citywide North Command. In November of 2017, FDNY units responded to a massive fire in the Hamilton Heights section of Manhattan that burned for 18 hours and left 40 families homeless. Very early in the operation, Fire Marshal Faraci responded and began an extensive investigation, including video canvassing, which led to a suspect seen leaving the building and returning a short time later carrying a red gas can, and later fleeing his apartment with smoke billowing behind him. A dangerous arsonist needed to be apprehended. Fire Marshal Faraci and Fire Marshal Colici continued their exhaustive investigation, determining that the suspect had fled the city. He was ultimately apprehended in California, and Fire Marshal Colici flew to Los Angeles to successfully extradite the suspect back to New York. Because of their outstanding investigative ability and their dedication to apprehending a dangerous individual who needlessly put hundreds of lives at risk, the Deputy Commissioner Christine R. Godek Medal is presented to Fire Marshal Mark Colici of the Special Investigations Unit and Fire Marshal Richard Faraci of the Citywide North Command. Next is the William Friedberg Medal, presented to firefighter Stephen Urso of Ladder Company 161. This is the second of 3 medals awarded for bravery at this fire. In December of 2017, the members of Ladder Company 161 in Brooklyn responded to the report of a fire with children trapped. Upon arrival, the firefighters found soot-covered parents who told them their kids were still trapped inside. Firefighter Urso bent the gate of a window inward so he could force himself through to conduct a search for any trapped children. In high heat and thick smoke, he located a barely conscious infant inside a walker. He grabbed the child and rushed her back to the window for air, passing her to another firefighter for immediate medical care. Thanks to bravery, ingenuity, and determination to get into the fire apartment at all costs, a young life was saved. For his outstanding actions, the William Friedberg Medal is presented to firefighter Stephen Urso, Ladder Company 161, the best ride in Coney Island. Our next award is the probationary firefighter Thomas A. Wiley Medal, presented to firefighter David Gussick, Ladder Company 28. In January of 2018, Ladder 28 responded to a fire on the 4th floor of a 14-story building in Manhattan. Firefighter Gussick entered the fire apartment and moved past the fire in punishing conditions to conduct a search, finding an unconscious man in the rear bedroom wedged between the bed and the wall. With the assistance of his fellow firefighters, the man was removed from the apartment. Though he had only months on the job, he acted like a veteran firefighter with years of experience. For his bravery, the probationary firefighter Thomas A. Wiley Medal is awarded to firefighter David Gussick of Ladder Company 28, the Harlem Hilton. Our next medal is the Shelley Rothman Memorial Medal, awarded to Lieutenant Thomas Daly of Rescue Company 2. This is the second medal for a member of Rescue 2 at this fire. In August of 2018, Rescue 2 responded to a 4-story Brooklyn building with heavy fire on the 1st floor and heavy smoke pushing from the floors above. Lieutenant Daly led his floor above team to the 2nd floor to search an apartment for trapped occupants. As firefighter Edward Daly of Rescue 2 located 2 unconscious occupants, his officer, Lieutenant Tom Daly, did the same in another area of the apartment, locating and removing 1 person, and then working with his fellow firefighters to remove an additional person from an apartment immersed in clutter, smoke, and a growing fire that was burning through the floor. For his leadership and bravery to remove multiple occupants under great personal risk, the Shelley Rothman Memorial Medal is awarded to Lieutenant Thomas Daly of Rescue Company 2, the Rescue. Up next, the Jack Pinchik Medal, presented to paramedic Usman Rayab of Station 4 and paramedic Jonathan Rivera of Station 20. This is paramedic Rivera's 2nd medal today. In February of 2018, paramedics Rivera and Rayab responded to an incident in the Bronx where a cargo train had run over a person's legs. The patient was in a precarious and difficult to reach area with uneven ground, flooding, and patches of ice. In addition, tracks were live and the trains were still operating in the immediate area. They quickly stopped the bleeding and provided critical medical care, helping to package the patient so that he could be extricated and transported to the hospital. They overcame hazardous obstacles and administered outstanding patient care. For their efforts, the Jack Pinchik Medal is awarded to paramedic Usman Rayab of Station 4, the Lower East Side, and paramedic Jonathan Rivera of Station 20, Pride. The next medal is Lieutenant James Curran, New York Firefighters Burn Center Foundation Medal, presented to Engine Company 283. In March of 2018, Lieutenant Clifford Zielman and firefighters James Bald, Edmund Horace, Christopher McCormick, and Scott Rowland responded to a fire in a private dwelling in Brownsville. Upon arrival, they observed heavy fire encompassing the entire front of the building and auto exposing to both exposures. The firefighters stretched the line and immediately used booster hose water to knock the fire down on the exterior of both exposures. As a positive water source was secured, the suction hose blew, and the members forced threads beyond the damaged area, leaving them with less than an ideal connection. But this would not stop them. The nozzle team attacked the fire, knocking down fire on the first floor, in the stairwell, and in several rooms on the second floor. As units pulled ceilings, Engine 283 was relentless, extinguishing all fire in the cockloft as well. Engine 283 members operated effectively, displaying efficiency, fortitude, and teamwork, and extinguishing 3 floors of fire, preventing injuries and catastrophic loss of property. For their unwavering attack of a massive fire, the Lieutenant James Curran, New York Firefighters Burn Center Foundation Medal is awarded to Engine Company 283, the Brownsville Express. next medal is the firefighter Thomas R. Elsasser Memorial Medal, presented to Rescue Company 1. This is the 4th medal awarded for heroism at this tragic incident. In March of 2018, Lieutenant John P. Tobin and firefighters James Cahill, Francis Fee, Kevin Croft, Timothy O'Neill, and Neil Russell responded aboard Rescue 1 to a helicopter crash in the East River. Firefighters O'Neill and Cahill took part in dive operations that removed all past 4 passengers who were trapped in the submerged aircraft. Lieutenant Tobin led their operation, gaining critical information from the pilot. The 6 firefighters worked as one cohesive unit, with members in extreme danger, including fast-moving current, frigid temperatures, and numerous unseen obstacles, in a valiant effort to save those who were trapped. Their actions required bravery and teamwork. For their courage and dedication to duty, the firefighter Thomas R. Elsasser Memorial Medal is awarded to the members of Rescue Company 1. Outstanding! Our final medal is the World Trade Center Memorial Medal presented to Ladder Company 161. This is the third medal awarded for bravery at this fire. In December of 2017, Captain Kenneth Freeman and firefighters Brian Cutrona, Stephen Malloy, Keith Norris, Anthony Scarito, and Stephen Urso responded to reports of an apartment fire with children and disabled adults trapped. The members honored for this fire knew they were in for a difficult and dangerous operation. They were told on arrival by parents that children were in fact trapped inside. The apartment was filled with heavy clutter, thick black smoke that made for zero visibility and extreme heat. The members began their searches throughout the large apartment, first finding and removing a young boy. Next, they found an infant in a walker and removed the baby to safety as well. Next, members ascended the stairs and found 3 individuals in wheelchairs and 2 health care aides panicked and trapped in a room filled with smoke. They too were removed to safety. All told that day, Ladder Company 161 rescued 7 people, including 2 young children, on extremely difficult fire conditions. Operating in heavy smoke, debilitating heat, they rescued people trapped by fire in the greatest traditions of the FDNY. For their bravery, the World Trade Center Memorial Medal is proudly awarded to Ladder Company 161, the best ride on Coney Island. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a big round of applause for all of this year's medal winners? Will everyone please rise or remain standing for the benediction by FDNY Chaplain Monsignor Mark Fallacione.
Love finds many ways to express itself, and today we come together as a department and as a city to witness yet another way love expresses itself, namely in the heroic, life-saving acts that we remember this day as displayed by our medal winners. We thank you, Lord, especially for your presence here today and for the inspiration you gave these heroic firefighters, paramedics, and EMTs in their acts of bravery. They never thought twice. They did it for someone they didn't know. They did just what had to be done. Bless them as we continue to honor and appreciate them this day. Bless their families and their associates. May their commitment and dedication to their work inspire all of us present to be more dedicated to our service to one another. Amen.
Thank you, Monsignor. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Mayor, the Fire Commissioner, the Chief of the Department, and all the members of the Fire Department of the City of New York, thank you for joining us at today's Medal Day ceremony. Before we end, we would like to take a group photo of the medalists with the Mayor, the Fire Commissioner, and the Chief of Department. Medalists, please remain at your seats while the Fire Department photographer organizes this photo. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a great Medal Day. Thank you.